Hello everyone, today we are going to make an auto landscape material. As you can see, it has a slope blend for the stone and a height blend for the sand. You can manually set up everything here, like I'm changing the height of the sand layer that I called beach. And also you can set the sharpness to whatever you prefer. Also for the slope you can set up a slope bias and the sharpness. Oh, okay, it wasn't loading properly for a moment. And you can set up the scale of the textures too. Like set this to just 0.1 and it goes smaller. Also if we play, the character detects the texture, the physical material we are standing on. In the top left corner you can see. I go to the sand and it will switch to that. Then to the rock and it should be rock or stone. We are also going to spawn foliage depending on the surface automatically. So I put these spikes on the grass, these balls on the sand, and the cubes on the rock. You can obviously set up whatever you want, like grass for the grass. Okay, let's start. First we need the landscape material, so right click and create a material. I called it M landscape. So let's open that up. I like to separate everything into material functions. Like you can see, I have 3 different layers here for the grass, the sand, and the rock, because it looks so much cleaner. So let's start with making the grass material function. Right click in the content browser and go to materials, material function, and I called it MF layer 1 for the grass. You can call it MF grass or whatever you want it. We need to grab some grass materials for this. I have downloaded some from Pixel. You have an output result. Now we want to make a material attribute. Make material attributes and connect this up to the output. From the textures we have added. The first is the albedo. This goes to the base color. Second is the normal, to the normal, and the ORD, as Quixel calls it, is the ambient occlusion, roughness, and the world position offset. Now we want these to appear like you could see in the right. I just updated this material and you can't see anything here, just the other layers. So let's create parameters. I call it albedo L1 for layer 1. Apply and you can see it appearing in the material instance. Sorry. To make a material instance, you have to right click the material and create material instance. And we also want to group this. I want to put it in the group L1. Then do the same with the normal. Normal L1 appears here. Oh, it's grouping it by default to the layer 1. That's nice. Do the same with the ORD that I like to call ARD, as you can see. You have to name these separately from the other layers, because if I will call this L2, like this in the second layer, they are in a different group, but they will end up being in a single one. Like now it deleted the one from the L2 group, and it's only in the first group. So let's rename it back to layer 1. We also want to scale these textures, so hold 1 and click to create this, and convert to parameter. I called it scale layer 1 and set it to 0.1. The lower this number, the bigger the texture will be. We also need a landscape chord. This landscape layer chords, and multiply them together and connect everything to the UVs, and create another two material functions. Just you can duplicate this one. Everything else is the same. Just have to set the textures here. Like the layer 2 is the sand for me, layer 3 the rock, as you can see here. And also something really useful to set up. You want them to be shared wrap. And this goes for all the layers. So here, select all the textures. Here, wrap. The last one too. So the textures will take up less texture sample place, because it can build this 16 really quickly, and you can't go higher. Now let's go back to the landscape material you have created. You only have this node by default. Let's click on it, search for use material attributes and check it. And we need a layer blend. Landscape layer blend. And get into it. If you don't have anything in there, just click this plus. If you have anything, then call the layer auto for the auto material, or whatever you prefer. And let's connect our first layer to it. As you can see, there is grass everywhere. Let's make it so under a specific height. We will use sand instead of grass. Go back to the landscape material. This is the entire code you are going to need. Absolute worst position. Just look for worst position. This is it. I don't know if it's different for you, but this is what I'm using here. In Unreal 5.2, it already has some extra connections. You need the Z axis from them, so just connect the Z to the subtract node here. In previous versions, you have to break this to float 3, and we need the blue, the B, and connect it to the subtract node, and create a parameter for the subtract node. This will be the height of the beach. Then we want to divide this and clamp between 0 and 1, and the divide here will be the sharpness of it. Then we want to create a named reroute, just like in blueprints, and I called it grass sand between because this is blending between the grass and sand layers. So let's put in both of our layers. So just grab and drop. Create a blend material attributes node. Blend material attributes, this. Connect the grass sand here to the alpha. First layer for me is the grass, because I want that to be above, and the second is the sand. Now we want to connect this up to our layer blend. You should see this, and you should be able to set the beach height and sharpness already. Seems to be working, so let's go to the stone layer. It's not too hard to make this either. You just need a word align blend and create a parameter for both the sharpness and the bias. We want to name reroute again, that I called grass rock from the explicit normals. Create another blend material attribute, or just duplicate the one you have. Connect everything we had here. So connect this blend material attribute to the B, and the new stone layer will be the A, and the grass rock goes to the alpha, and connect this up to the layer blend. And now everything is working. Let's go to 45, 20, oops, too much. Keep it on 30. Now let's set up the physical materials. I have made this code to check what I'm standing on. Fire a timer on begin play, and it's looping every half second. We are tracing 2 meters down from our character, so it's hit the ground. And also we are ignoring our own character, because we don't want to hit it. And from the line trace by channel, we are breaking the hit result, taking the physical material and printing it, so we can check what the material of it is. If we start playing, it could be a default material or something for you. I have already built this, and it seems like I can't really unbuild it. One thing I have to mention about this: when I tried doing this on tick, it was not working properly. After I wanted to do it after begin play, like this, without this, it was also not working. I don't know what's the problem. If you set it up so if you click, it's checking it, that's probably the best. To make the physical materials, first you have to go to project settings, edit project settings. Go here in the engine, you can see the physics, and go to the bottom. I already have these 3 set up. I'm going to make a new one, just so you can see how to do it. I have made a folder for the physical materials. Go to physics, physical material. I call them grass, sand and stone, and this new one is just to show how to set up. Here our new physical material appears. This is the only thing you have to set up, the surface type in these physical materials. We can close that. We can also close the layers. And we don't need the project settings anymore. If it's working right for you, then we don't need this either. As you can see, I did already set these up before making this video, so I'll set everything up properly. Then go to our landscape material, and we want a physical material output, and we made 3 layers, so let's create 3 inputs here. First was the grass, second was the stone, I think, and the sand. We want to grab the grass sand and connect it right into the sand. We want to grab the grass rock too, make a 1 minus and connect it to the stone. and grab it again, subtract the grass sand from it. Basically, this grass sand determines where the grass is, and there is no rock. So if we get the 1 minus of it, then we are getting where the rock is, the stone is. And to check the grass, first of all, everything is grass in here. That's why we want to subtract the sand from it. So we are only getting the grass here, and the sand is obviously the sand. Now if we play, nothing will change because we have to build it first. Build physical material only. And now if we walk around, Mario really takes his time today. Top left corner is grass, then it's sand, then it's stone. And I think we died because we reached the kill zone. Go to the other side, because this is handled differently. If this is stone too, then everything is fine. Stone, yeah. Especially if I can get on it. Stone, it's working. So we did set up the material, the slope band, the height band, the physical material for each of them. Only the foliage spawning is left. To make that, I have created another folder. Right click, go to foliage, and we need a landscape grass type. I will call this new. This is what you should see when you open it up. Just click this plus and select whatever mesh you want to spawn, like grass or anything. You can also set up the density for them. First to a 10. Call distance for performance optimizing. You can set up pretty much everything you would possibly want to set here. So select a model, set this to 10, and we are done. You have to make this for the grass, the sand, and the stone separately, or whatever you want. If you don't want to spawn anything on the layer sand, then you don't need that. I'm deleting this new because I already have mine. This is the entire setup for this. As you can see, there is no foliage anywhere. First of all, to make this node, you have to look for grass, and we want the landscape grass output. And we want 3 grass types in it. So check plus if you need more. And you can delete here. First is the grass, second is the rock, and third is the sand for me. The foliage types you have created here. You can put everything in the correct place. So the grass foliage goes to the grass, the rock foliage to the rock, and the sand for the sand. Let's connect the grass up, and this will be on the grass. And the same with the other ones too. First, get the landscape sample, landscape layer sample, and the parameter name has to be whatever your layer name is. So whatever you did set in the layer blend, it's auto for me. Has to be in here, so auto for me. Then to make the grass, we want to grab the grass sand layer that we made here, connect it to the alpha, and the grass rock layer that we made here, and connect it to the alpha for the second lerp. You can get a lerp by holding L and left clicking. Make sure that everything you see here is 0. So both the A and the B are 0, because we don't want anything to spawn where we don't have grass. Basically this is the grass setup. Then we want the rock again. The first lerp blends between the grass and sand. So what goes through here in the A is only the grass layer, and here we take away the rock layer from it. So the first lerp checks to not spawn anything in here, and the second one checks so it won't put anything on the rock or the stone layer. Then we have to make a layer for the rock. We just need one lerp and grass rock blend. B is 0, A is the layer, the auto material, and connect it up to the rock. And now the cubes are spawning on the rock. We do not have to check for the sand, because we pretty much don't care about the sand or the grass, because this layer checks separately for the slope and it's not spawning anywhere else, so we don't have to worry about that. For the last one, we have to do pretty much the same as up here, except from the first lerp we want to get the sand, so we are not plugging it in the A but in the B, or auto layer. And here is the same check for the stone layer. Now it's only going to spawn in the sand. As you can see, these yellow balls, they are not spawning anywhere else. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, or if you want to see any tutorials in the future, then you can tell me your ideas in the comments. Also, if you like this video, then give it a like. If you didn't, then please tell me why, and also you know what to do. Have a good day. Bye.